Call the meeting to order.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Okay, our first item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from October 14th, 2013. Move approval of those minutes.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes. Abstain is good because I missed the last part of the meeting, I'm sorry. So I have
Yes.
said yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Abstain as I was absent.
Okay, we have a public hearing on the agenda this evening to zone property located at 3100 South Clark and 3076 South Clark to C2 General Commercial, and I move we open the public hearing.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. The properties here this evening was annexed into the city limits on September 9th as a part of the annexation into the city. We are to designate with a zoning classification that is in compliance with the land use map. Rita was unable to make it this evening, so stepping in for Rita is going to be Kenzie Russell to cover the location and the recommendation from the Planning and Zoning Commission.
As council is aware from the annexation, we're talking about two tracts of land, one owned by the Robertsons immediately south of the Dairy Queen, and then the Pearl Motors tract of ground owned by the Huffmans, and that's the GLH Holdings, Inc., that's referred to in the council letter. The zoning commission recommended approval of the zoning classification of commercial, C2, general commercial, and that, of course, fits with the adjacent property uses as well as the intended uses here, and there was no objection from surrounding property owners that were notified of the planning and zoning action.
So basically, what this is the county has no zoning.
The county does not have zoning, and of course, when it comes into the city with the annexation, it came in as an agriculture zone, and so this sets the zoning for both the existing development as it is, as well as potential future development on the vacant areas.
And is this the same zoning as the adjacent properties that's immediately to the north?
Yes, it is.
They're all the C2?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is there any comments or questions from the public, since this is a public hearing? Anything more from the council? If not, I move we close the public hearing.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Under new business resolutions this evening, we have Bill number 2013-71, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Pearl Motor Company. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. The council approved the purchase of real estate from Pearl Motor Company in January of 2013. This was a joint purchase with the county and purchasing the current location of Pearl Motor Company. The city's purchase is for the property that would be located in the block that is immediately west of City Hall, so on the north side of Love Street. The closing for this real estate is to be held on October 31st, and Pearl Motor Company's new building location on South Clark Street is not ready for occupancy at this time. Therefore, this agreement would allow the City of Mexico to lease the property back to Pearl Motor Company for the sole purpose of conducting business as a General Motors franchise dealership on a month-to-month basis. This agreement would begin on November 1, and it would terminate by either party by given 30-day notice. Pearl Motor will pay all real estate taxes, personal property taxes, cost of liability, property insurance, all cost of repairs. They will also be responsible for all utility costs and charges, and any charges during their time of this lease agreement, and they cannot sublet the property without the consent of the city. And at the end of the term, they will return the property to the city in the same condition it was received at the beginning of the lease. Therefore, it's a standard lease is attached, and we would recommend the resolution authorizing the signing of the month-to-month lease with Pearl Motor Company.
Questions?
I move for reading of bill number 2013-72.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Hold on. I was one ahead. It's 2013-71. I was on the wrong lease.
Okay. The vote. To read.
Yes.
And Botts?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-71, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Pearl Motor Company, whereas the city council approved the purchase of real estate from Pearl Motor Company at the January 28, 2013 meeting, and whereas the closing for the real estate will be held on October 31st, 2013, and Pearl Motor Company's new building located on Clark Street will not be ready for occupancy at that time. And whereas the City of Mexico will lease to Pearl Motor Company the real estate purchased by the city for the sole purpose of conducting business of a General Motors franchise dealership on a month-to-month basis. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager is hereby authorized to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Pearl Motor Company. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2013-71.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Botts?
Yes.
Next, we have Bill number 2013-72, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Dr. James A. Scott. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. Again, as a part of the real estate purchase from Pearl Motor Company, we again intend to close on October 31st. This property also includes an office building. That office building is currently occupied and rented by Dr. James Scott, and that is, the location is at 117 East Love Street for his chiropractic office. This agreement will allow the city to enter into a lease agreement with Dr. Scott for the sole purpose of operating his chiropractic practice on a month-to-month basis. This agreement will also begin November 1, 2013, and it can be terminated by either party on a 30-day written notice. Dr. Scott will pay $500 per month rent and is responsible for the interior upkeep of the building and the general maintenance of the outside, including mowing, snow removal. He will need to obtain insurance for the contents of the building and business liability. The city then will be responsible, like any landlord, for the exterior mechanical and will obtain insurance on the building as far as property. Standard lease is attached, and at this time, we would recommend council proceed with the reading and passage of the attached resolution authorizing the lease.
Move for reading bill number 2013-72.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Botts?
Yes. Bill number 2013-72, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Dr. James A. Scott. Whereas the city council approved the purchase of real estate from Pearl Motor Company at the January 28, 2013 meeting, and whereas the closing for the real estate will be held on October 31, 2013, and includes an office building and a parking lot. Dr. James Scott currently rents the office building located at 117 East Love for his chiropractic practice. And whereas this agreement will allow the City of Mexico a lease to Dr. James A. Scott property located at 117 East Love for the sole purpose of his chiropractic practice on a month-to-month basis. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager is hereby authorized to sign a month-to-month lease agreement with Dr. James A. Scott. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of Bill Number 2013-72.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Next resolution we have is Bill Number 2013-73, a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce for requested funding from the Mexico tourism tax. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, this request is for the 2013 Holiday Express for advertising. The Holiday Express train is planned to be in Mexico on December 15th at 4 p.m. That is a Sunday evening, and so they are expecting large crowds for that event, and maybe the largest potentially ever for this event. So, to cover the details of the request, I will turn to Roger Haynes.
Good evening. The Tourism Commission met on October 16th to review funding applications for supporting advertising for special events here in the community. The Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce did submit an application for $2,000 to pay for advertising related to the 2013 Holiday Express, also known as the Santa Train. That event, as Bruce mentioned, will be on December 15th in the late afternoon to evening, and it would stop near the railroad depot of the Kansas City Southern. The amount requested was $2,000, and the amount recommended by the commission is $2,000. Staff recommends that council concur with the Mexico Tourism Commission's recommendation and proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution. And I'd be glad to answer any questions.
I have a couple of comments I'd like to make concerning the Tourism Commission this evening. First of all, I want to thank them for their efforts and the work that they do in going through these various applications and deciding how much to support them with. So I do want to say that. I also want to say I agree with Mayor Pro Tem Nichols' comments concerning the split between what is spent maybe for local advertising versus statewide advertising, that being approximately 75-25% split. I think that is a good split. So I support that area. And also, I would like to make a suggestion for that statewide or out of city spending. I don't know if they've looked at this or not, but the Missouri Ruralist, I don't know if you're familiar with that magazine. It covers the more rural areas of the state, since it's put out by the State Co-op Association, and probably has a distribution of over 400,000, maybe close to 500,000 families in the state of Missouri, and it's the rural population predominantly. And so I don't know if that's viable for our advertising, but I could see maybe for some events like Walk Back in Time, which is, you know, generally rural people are more interested in that maybe than maybe folks from the city. That might be something that we might look at. I have no idea whether it's viable or not. I just was reading one of their magazines the other day, and I saw some of the advertising back. It's not printed and fancy like Missouri Life. And I do agree that Missouri Life's a good magazine, but maybe there's some split that we can look at in terms of how we use that. I think it's worth looking at. That's just my comment on that.
I'll be glad to make mention of that at the next meeting. And I agree. I've read that article or that publication a number of times, and it has a whole gamut of stories and advertising, anywhere from pole barns to restaurants. So
Yeah.
I'll be glad to mention that to them.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion, I read bill number 2013-73.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-73. A resolution authorizing the city manager to execute an agreement with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce for requested funding from the Mexico Tourism Tax. Whereas the Mexico Tourism Commissioner recommended to the City Council that the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce be allowed to receive tourism funding for the tourism advertising campaign. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, that the city manager be authorized to enter into an agreement on behalf of the City of Mexico with the Mexico Area Chamber of Commerce for tourism funding. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after its time of passage. I move for passage of bill number 2013-73.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Next resolution we have is Bill number 2013-74, a resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Help Center to offset operational costs related to providing services to citizens. This is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, this is for the annual appropriation and agreement with the Help Center, and to cover the details, I will again turn to Roger Haynes.
The 2013-14 budget allows the City of Mexico to contribute to the Help Center the sum of $10,000 for the use in the offset of operational costs related to providing services, activities, and other programs. The City of Mexico has provided assistance to the Help Center in the past since 2004, ranging from $5,000 to $10,000. Staff recommends the City of Mexico, to the City of Mexico and the Help Center, enter into an agreement that council proceed with reading and passage of the attached resolution. We do have with us this evening the Executive Director of the Help Center, Gary Jones, and he is asked to have just a moment at the podium to talk about the program.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to come tonight and speak a little bit with you. I truly appreciate wanting to thank the city manager and also the mayor and the council members for this generous donation. It truly helps us to achieve the many goals that we've set for the Help Center. What I wanted to do tonight was kind of shoot out some numbers to you, kind of giving you an idea of what we've done in the last year, how much food that's been brought into Audrain County, and the number of people that we've serviced. As of, from January the 1st, as of September, we've provided food and services for 4,140 families here in our community in Audrain County, and that totals 10,981 people that we provided food and services for. Looking at the numbers last year in 2012, for the total year, we had 4,333 families. So you see, we've got 2 more months, and we're going to surpass the number of families that we were able to help in 2012. As of October the 25th, the Food Bank in Columbia has provided Audrain County with 758,118 pounds of food. As of Monday, the local Walmart store has provided 53,500 pounds of product to the Help Center. We've also received donations from Dollar General, being 13 grocery carts and miscellaneous products and stuff from them also. And we're at, right now, we just recently, USDA gave us a grant for a brand new pickup truck, which we bought locally. And we're going to, hopefully next year, if I'm standing up here, I'll have some extremely good news, a new location. The Help Center is looking for a new home. It looks like we already have the property. Hopefully we'll have a success story on the community garden that we're starting up and getting involved with. And but I truly appreciate this partnership with the city and also this donation. It's going to truly make a difference to help us meet our goals. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Mayor, if there are no questions, I move for reading of bill number 2013-74.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lash?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-74, resolution authorizing the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Help Center to offset operational costs relating to providing services to citizens. Whereas the City of Mexico recognizes the many benefits provided by the Help Center to its citizens, and whereas the City of Mexico acknowledges the need for programs, activities, and services provided to citizens, and whereas the City of Mexico and the Help Center desire to enter into an agreement to continue to provide these services, now therefore be resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1, City Manager is hereby authorized to execute an agreement with the Help Center to assist in the offset of operational costs relating to providing these services. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. Move for passage of Bill number 2013-74.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lash?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Next and last resolution we have is Bill number 2013-75, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign change order number 1 with SAK Construction LLC for sanitary sewer collection system rehabilitation Phase 2. Excuse me, this is up for reading and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, we currently have a contract with SAK Construction to do sewer pipe lining work. This work lines the pipes in order to either reduce or slow down, certainly, the leaks into the system. And we have an opportunity to do some more work that we've discovered here under budget. And to cover the details, I will turn to Kenzie Russell.
The council previously approved a contract with SAK for our pipe relining or our cured-in-place pipe work this year. That contract was in the neighborhood of $211,000. Subsequent to awarding that contract, and that included a number of lines in the southeast area where we've been studying, as well as a line in Monroe Street there by Abel's Shell Station. And subsequent to that, we discovered another line in the north part of the city that has significant root intrusion at all of the joints, which allows stormwater to come in, as well as some bad household taps. We asked SAK for a price to line that and to seal 14 residential taps, meaning that the lining actually extends about 18 inches up into the house line. When I say seal, meaning seal off that connection, not plug it up there. And that price that they gave us, $43,910, basically follows the unit prices that we have in the original contract work. It adds, as I said, 14 house taps and roughly 396 feet of sealing. Part of the reason for doing this, one, is that there were a lot of roots at each of the joints, and the line is in the backyards of the houses and is roughly 20 feet deep. If we have a collapse or plug that we can't clean there, there's significant disruption to those backyards, fences, trees, and plantings in order to make those repairs. And so we feel that being able to do this stretch at this time will solve problems not only with the infiltration but the potential disruption to those properties. With the addition, we're at $255,648, which is still under our budgeted monies of $300,000, and so we're within the money that we have available for the program.
Now, this is still the blow in the, and then harden with steam, that's the same stuff?
Yes, it's they insert a tube, if you will, that's impregnated with epoxy rosin. It essentially then is cured with either steam or hot water and forms a fiberglass pipe inside the existing pipeline. It's smoother, and so we get essentially the same capacity that we had before.
So they have to get inside the line to do the trunk lines, do the inlet lines?
They do it from the manholes.
From the manholes.
They are able to do it from the manholes. This price includes cleaning, cutting, heavy root cutting, as well as a video inspection before and a video inspection after. And so that's part of the quality control process there.
It'll be a nice place to have a city council meeting at. That's a very interesting procedure they do there.
I have plenty of sewer videos I'll be happy to show at any work session.
Thank you, Kenzie.
Kenzie, I got a question
I
on
would
that.
say that.
Didn't we just change, how are we doing we just passed ordinances about the taps into the sewer from the individuals. So these people are getting this for free basically, but other people in the community won't be able to, if they have a tap problem, they're gonna have to pay for it on their own. I mean,
We put in place a sewer assistance program that provides about $500 to individuals that need to do work on their line. And yes, there is a little inconsistency other than the fact that an individual can hire a plumber and then get that $500 help, which is about the same amount that we're putting into the ceiling on each tap. And so it comes about in a little different fashion rather than a city contract, but we are providing assistance to other property owners as well.
I think it's yours.
I move for a reading of bill number 2013-75.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Blash?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-75, a resolution authorizing the city manager to sign change order number 1 with SAK Construction LLC for sanitary sewer collection system rehabilitation phase 2. Whereas change order number 1 will be an increase of $43,910, which will increase the contract to $255,648.95. And whereas the change order increases will still be under the budget of $300,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Mexico, Missouri as follows. Section 1. The city manager is hereby authorized to sign on behalf of the City of Mexico change order number 1 with SAK Construction LLC for sanitary sewer collection system rehabilitation phase 2. Section 2, this resolution shall be in full force and effect from and after the time of its passage. I move for passage of bill number 2013-75.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Blash?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Okay, moving on to new business ordinance. Bill number 2013-76, an ordinance amending the code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, Chapter 7, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Article 10, Schedules. This is up for first reading by title only. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. We did receive a request from Weber Pharmacies, doing business as Jackson Street Drug, asking for a limited parking time. And to cover the details of the request and the findings, I will once again turn to Kenzie Russell.
Let's see, Patrick, I think we've got a picture that we can put up. Jackson Street Pharmacy is located on Jackson and Cole Street, and Mr. Weber approached our office. There is a single parking spot highlighted in yellow there in that half a block with the driveways and the alley. It's the only parking spot there by his business, and he felt that it would be beneficial to his customers and business to make that a limited parking spot so that there would be some turnover, and requested the 15-minute parking. In looking at it with the city parking lot directly across the street, it was our feeling that that would not adversely impact parking in the area, and so the engineering staff does support and recommend that be changed to a 15-minute parking. Mr. Weber is present tonight if you do have questions directly for him.
Is there any questions? I just clarification, do we have temporary parking like this on the downtown square as well at specific spots?
There is a 15-minute parking over by Coach's Pizza that was put in place a number of years ago for pickups, and there is, I believe, a limited time parking at the courthouse on the. Don't hold me to that. And one at SOS.
Okay, so we have done this before. This is not just an only one in the city.
No, it's not the only one.
Okay, thank you.
I move for reading of bill number 2013-76 by title only.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes. Bill number 2013-76, an ordinance amending the code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, Chapter 7, Motor Vehicles and Traffic, Article 10, Schedules.
Okay. Moving on to bill number 2013-77, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease of a parcel of land at the Mexico Memorial Airport and sale of airport hangar to John W. Baker and Suzanne M. Baker. This is up for 2 readings by title only and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. This request from the Bakers is similar to the ones we have done in the past. This is a request for them to purchase an existing private hangar at the airport that they're currently renting, and that would lease the land back under the proposal. And to cover the details, I will turn to Russell Roach.
Yes, as we have done now 3 different times, the precedent was set when we worked with Mr. Boys and Mr. Curtis when they built a hangar and created a land lease, which set us a precedent as to how we could possibly sell some of the other hangars that had been built by individuals, which would then, after a 20-year period, revert back to the city. Instead of us ending up with those hangars, they stay with the private individual. They pay the back, what would have been land lease back to when they put the building in, and then they receive the building and they control the maintenance and the facility itself. So it's money that we can use at the airport to do improvements, and this would be a $70 a month land lease, which would be created, and the purchase price would be $6,478 based on those back payments. And we also did 2 other hangars with Mr. Jacoby as well.
Questions?
I move for reading bill number 2013-78. Oh, 77. I keep running ahead of y'all.
Yes, I did. I'm very happy.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-77, an ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease of a parcel of land at the Mexico Memorial Airport and sale of the airport hangar to John W. Baker and Suzanne M. Baker. Move for second reading of bill number 2013-77.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-77, ordinance authorizing the execution of a lease of a parcel of land at the Mexico Memorial Airport and the sale of an airport hangar to John W. Baker and Suzanne M. Baker. Move for passage of bill number 2013-77.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lesh?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Okay, the next ordinance we have is bill number 2013-78, an ordinance zoning property located at 3100 South Clark and 3076 South Clark, and amending the district map referred to in Section 15-142 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, zoning to C2 General Commercial. This is up for 2 readings by title only and passage. Bruce, we just had the public hearing.
Yeah, we did the public hearing earlier this evening to zone the property C2 commercial to come into the city. Staff would recommend council proceed with the 2 readings by title only and passage of the attached ordinance.
Can I make a comment? Why did we not do this when we took them in? I mean, it seems kind of, I mean, it wouldn't happen, but I mean, what if we said, oh, well, we're not going to zone it, and he's already got a building? I mean, that just seems,
It's a state law. When you
Okay.
annex property in, it automatically comes in as agriculture.
okay.
And then the city council has to rezone it to fit the land.
Okay, that makes sense, because I'm just like sitting here going, this should have been done. He's got the building already. I mean, that would be horrible.
The point of it is, it would be just common sense and at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I'm just like, well, why don't we just do this?
So that the state law gets common sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
If there are no questions, Mayor, I move for reading of Bill number 2013-78, first reading by title only.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-78, an ordinance zoning property located at 3100 South Clark and 3076 South Clark, and amending the district map referred to in Section 15-142 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, zoning to C2 General Commercial. I move for second reading of Bill number 2013-78.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-78, an ordinance zoning property located at 3100 South Clark and 3076 South Clark, and amending the district map referred to in Section 15-142 of the Code of the City of Mexico, Missouri, zoning to C2 General Commercial. I move for passage of Bill number 2013-78.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Fox?
Yes.
The last ordinance we have this evening is Bill number 2013-79, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute contract documents with Karen Brock Construction Incorporated on Phase 2 of Audrain County Road 820, Commerce Road. And this is up for 2 readings by title only and passage. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor, this is Audrain Road 820, or now known as Commerce Road. It's in the city limits. This stretch of road was originally improved to the Plant Science Center, which was done as part of a MoDOT grant. As a part of that, there was some additional grant funds that were remaining, and therefore that would do some additional work. And to cover the details of the contract and the work proposed here, I will turn to Kenzie Russell.
Council may recall that Karen Brock Construction was the original contractor for the first phase of the paving, and they are the low bidder for the second phase. We had 6 bids on the work. We bid it this time, actually a base bid for 500 feet and an alternate for an additional 100 feet. With the alternate at $120,302, we are still within the grant funds that are remaining, and the MoDOT has approved the bids, and so with the council's award of the contract, we will move a step closer towards construction. The next step would be to actually send the ordinance awarding the contract back to MoDOT and get their approval to issue the notice of award and hold the pre-construction and proceed with the actual construction of the work. 600 feet completes the paving across the front of the Plant Science Center and extends it into the additional are adjacent to the additional 57-acre tract that the city owns, and so it will give us the advantage of having paved street access to some of that currently undeveloped land, and should help benefit that land as well as take advantage of the remaining grant funds. So we're asking for approval to award the contract.
And that grant fund was specifically for 820, correct?
Yes, it was for infrastructure improvements for that development, and I wasn't here when that grant was actually applied for and received, and I'm not sure about all of the details of what went into the original application, but it's for infrastructure and for the paving. We did Huntingfield Road and the first phase of Commerce Road there in the original portion, and the bids were good enough that we actually had money left, and that's what we're using.
I'm curious, what is the, and I should know this probably, what is the 12,500? It says with alternative number 1. What's alternative number 1?
That was the additional 100 feet.
100.
The base bid was for 500 feet.
Okay, I missed that.
But based on what the engineer's estimates were, we knew we could get 500 feet. We thought we might get better,
Okay.
more if we had good bids, and in
Okay.
fact, we did.
Thank you.
Move for reading bill number 2013-79.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-79, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute contract documents with Karen Brock Construction Incorporated on Phase 2 of Audrain County Road, 820 Commerce Road. I move for second reading of bill number 2013-79.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Bill number 2013-79, an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute contract documents with Karen Brock Construction Incorporated on Phase 2 of Audrain Road, 820 Commerce Road. I move for passage of bill number 2013-79.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Under other business this evening, we have a staff report on the Mexico Animal Shelter acoustics. Bruce?
Yes, Your Honor. This particular item was, action wasn't taken at the last meeting and moved to this meeting. And to cover some of the details of it once again, a safety audit was conducted at the shelter in August of 2012. The results indicated that we had a noise level in the range of 100 to 105 decibels from barking dogs. From the readings, it didn't seem to matter much whether you took it from the office area or from the kennel area, and that the range was generally similar just because of the acoustics within the building and no real soundproofing at all between the office and the kennel area. Therefore, we contacted Simmons Associates out of Columbia to take a look at the facility, determine what kind of improvements could be done to eliminate and or reduce the amount of noise in the shelter. They did come up with some plans, and we did advertise for bids, and that was done in March of 13. We did receive 4 bids, with the low bid being from RCI Concrete, Inc., Mexico, Missouri. The project consisted of 3 phases, and it was bid as a base bid and 2 alternates. The project consisted of 1, to remove approximately 60 lineal feet, 480 square feet, of sheetrock on the kennel side, filling the cavities with a new spray and cellulose insulation, thermal and sound rated with netting. Replace the with water-resistant sheetrock and cover with an FRP glued and sealed joints and installing trim. Second, removing 4 hollow core doors between the kennel area and the remainder of the shelter and installing steel frames and a solid core wood doors with weather stripping automatic door bottoms and lever handle door hardware. And 3, installation of a Tectum sound acoustic panels on the ceiling in the kennel between the areas of the existing light fixtures and the HVAC. The project is intended, obviously, to limit the noise as much as possible from migrating from the kennel area into the office areas, but also reducing the noise level in the kennel area due to the fact that the public is also in that area as well as employees. The Humane Society did agree to and is willing to contribute $6,000 towards the project. And we, at the time of taking the bids, we originally was hoping that they would consider more of the project, and we did not have any funding in the current or last year's budget to make the improvements, so therefore we held the project over and budgeted in the current year. As a part of that, RCI agreed to hold their bid open, only allowing for additional material costs if those costs raised. Therefore, the total project cost, if you did the base bid plus the alternate 1 and 2, would be $21,493, with the Humane Society contributing $6,000. How that breaks down, council, is the base bid for doing the soundproofing of the walls with the sheetrock was $8,124. Alternate 1, which was doing the ceiling acoustic panels, was $7,668, and to do alternate 2, which was the doors, was $5,701. Since that time, we've been in, there were some questions by Councilman Nichols. We've tried to address those concerns that he's had and discuss those with him. He was very kind to come in and talk about those and what we could do and look at those. And some additional thoughts that he had regarding the types of doors and what could be done differently. And I know I'm not going to cover what his thoughts are, but he'll do those. We did also have additional contact with the architect, and obviously they have different opinions on regarding what can be done, but recognizing it's our project and how to deal with it and what we need to do. So at this time, I would certainly recommend that we proceed with the walls in the alternate 1 for the ceiling panels, and that we do not award the doors at this time, and that after discussions with the architect and with Councilman Nichols, we think there may be some alternatives that we could look at there that may be a better cost-effective way to do it. And we'd like the opportunity to look at those and not award that this evening. And if we can come up with a plan working with the contractor to do so, we'll do that, or otherwise they'll be done at a later date. So that would be my comments at this time. We also have Doug Ballard in the audience this evening. Doug is with the building department. He's the one that does most of our property maintenance work and could answer any technical questions you may have, and he's also spoken with the engineer. But at this time, I would turn it over to Councilman Nichols if he has any comments that he'd like to have regarding the discussions we've had and how to do the project. So,
There were quite a few discussions. First, I want to thank Chris and the rest of the council for tabling this until I came back for this meeting. The animal shelter is definitely noisy. Whereas I have a hearing problem myself, I can relate to the people out there in the noise problem. But it just seemed like that was a lot of money. So I think that if we go ahead and do the walls, which they need done anyway, with the waterproof sheetrock, and doing that and the acoustics on the I think that would knock it down quite a bit, and then we can go from there and see what we've got, if that would be a solution that the council would go for. That way we can go ahead and know what we need to get done, and then see how much further we need. It'd be like the sewer program. We go phase 1 and phase 2 and see if we need phase 3 or not. So, which we will, but it may be less for phase 3. So that would be my idea on it.
I would say, I would agree with you. My question would be, these bids, if we're going to separate them out, was there, I mean, is there a difference in the other people's bids?
the RCI was still the low bid on all phases of it, so it wouldn't change.
Even with the additional costs?
Yes.
Okay, because that was my concern, because their additional costs put them over GBH.
Yeah, even with the adjustments of the cost for material changes, they still come out as low bid even on all the phases, yes.
And we do have the decibel measuring machine.
Yes, we do.
I would be curious if you could have one of the staff at the animal shelter to actually keep a list on what the noise is at various times if they're awarded through the construction. I'd like to know just exactly how much
Can do
it
that.
lowers.
Mhm.
That would be great. I know you go out there and that noise, it makes your feet jump. It's so loud out there.
Now, there may be at times more dogs are more vocal than others during
Yes.
that process.
We did get quieter dogs out there. I guess the perfect world is as soon as they come in, they go out the next day. That would be great. Or have more cats. The meow does not allow us to bark. So do we need to go ahead and,
Make the motion for that part of it.
For a base bid plus the alternate. What would you want to do?
Whatever it is. yeah.
okay. I'd like to
I'm
make-
looking on his paper.
I'd like to make a motion this time that we go ahead with the phase one, the base bid of $8,124 for the wash selection repairs. And the alternative for number one for $7,688 for the Tectum acoustic panels for the ceiling to be installed by RCI with the noise decibel being calibrated throughout the procedure. And then we'll come back with the doors at a later date and see what we need to do on that. However you want to word that to make it sound professional.
I'll second that.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.
Next, we have a staff report, purchase of a one-ton dump truck for the Parks and Recreation Department Cemetery Division. Bruce?
Yes, this is a replacement of a vehicle that is actually currently ceased to operate even as we budgeted for it. But to cover the details, I will turn to Chad Shoemaker.
Thank you. As the council knows, the annual budget allows for $36,500 for the purchase of a one-ton dump truck for the cemetery. This truck replaces truck number 602, which is not currently operational. It lost its transmission on a trip about a month and a half ago, and the decision was made that we would just try to get into the new budget year, and we don't believe that that truck has any value for trade, and the people that we shopped it to didn't either, so that truck will simply go to the surplus sale. Requests for bids were sent to 11 vendors, and advertisements were placed in the ledger. Bids were received from 2 vendors, with Joe Muckins Ford submitting the lowest bid. And if you'll notice in your packet, if you get back to the Joe Muckins bid, there is a date to which this bid is good. It's good to October 31st. After October 31st, their bid goes up. We felt like in good faith we had to, use that bid because timely-wise, when the bids came in, we certainly had time to get a council meeting in and get that ordering process done. Apparently, the change in price has to do with the turnover of model years. Currently, we're still able to get a brand-new 2013. Ford's factory apparently didn't shut down as early as Chevy's factory. There was a little timeliness difference there. So that said, we didn't really see any way. After the 5%, they were still cheaper, and we just didn't see any way that we could make any other suggestions to the council at this point.
So we're going with the Ford.
Yes, sir.
And that is a 2014?
It'd be a 2013 brand new. They're still making that model, apparently. That's what, they said that they could still get it through the factory. So,
I'm just gonna say for the record, everybody saw I was down there, I was doing the math, 7%. I mean, that sucks. You always want to do local bid. I mean,
Yes.
really? I'm just like, wow.
So we're getting a 2013 Ford, correct?
we're getting the new model year. Is that the 14 now? 14. I'm trying to,
So we
I know the model years, we're getting the current new model year before it switches over, is what I was
Before it
told.
switches over.
Yeah.
So that'd be I thought you
And
said they're
is
still
George
back
still-
to 13.
The way I understood it, I think Troy told me that that Chevy kind of changed around when they were, because the factory is being retooled, it kind of threw the cycle off a little bit for Chevy this year.
14, Hascon's already been out, redesigned the 14 HD is scheduled to be right now. It's always a little tricky right now, but I
Yeah.
doubt they're building any 13s either way. It's right at the cutoff of 13 and start at the 14 right now, so.
I know they built 114 so far.
I don't know about the HD.
So I-
The HD is different than Hascon's,
Yeah.
and each manufacturer has a cutoff date that's different. It's very, very confusing.
Yeah, and this is a chassis product. We're not buying an actual pickup truck. We're buying a chassis. And then the Napa Hyde bid, and amazingly enough, the Napa Hyde bid from both dealers was exactly the same to the penny for the Napa Hyde bid.
But we did specify either a 2013
13 or 14.
2014, okay.
Yes. Yeah, we usually do it this time of year because the dealer has no control.
Well, I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're bidding like items.
Yes, yeah.
That doesn't like stay in Mexico.
Any other questions for me?
Is the Ford been holding it pretty good? Just question.
Yeah, it's been fine. I
That's-
You know, I
that's
have
good
my
answer.
personal preferences, just like when Greg was police chief. I mean, sure, he had personal preferences about vehicles. You know,
Cheapest.
yeah, if it, you know, does it start every day and does it get the materials where we need to get the materials? That's really what I care about. You know, I hate to be that way, but, you know. Style points don't count for a lot when you're hauling dirt. You know.
Okay, I'll keep my comments to myself on that.
Pleasure.
Mayor, I'll move, make purchase from Joe Mockins Ford for the 2013 dump truck and body for the bid of $32,669.
Second.
Nichols,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Okay, the next we have is the November 11th council meeting is on Veterans Day. I think that's a holiday for the city, is that correct? So if it's okay, I'll move that we reschedule the November 11th council meeting to November 12th.
Second.
And that would definitely be a 7 o'clock meeting, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Nichols,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lash,
Yes.
Williams.
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Next, we have the claims.
Make a motion for the claims?
Second.
Nichols,
Yes.
Miller,
Yes.
Lash,
Yes.
Williams,
Yes.
Botts,
Yes.
Next, we have council comments. Councilman Botts.
Well, I'd like to thank the mayor and Commissioner Hobbs is gone, but, and Russell and Bruce for the work on this Highway 54 corridor project. Sounds like a lot of time gets put in on it, and I know it's one of those things that's going to be out there a ways, but it's, I appreciate all your work on that. And Gary, thank you for coming and for speaking about the Help Center, and it does a great service for Mexico, and I appreciate that. And that's all I have.
Councilman Williams.
I'd like to echo tons of thanks to Help Center. I hope this year we get to do another food drive because, you know, we raised a lot of food this year too. So that was really enjoyable for everybody. I appreciate the 54 corridor, but what I appreciate more is the fact that I appreciate that the city is working with MoDOT to try and deal with some of our local immediate traffic concerns. And that's refreshing to hear out of their mouths and your mouths that we're trying to work together as a team to solve some of those problems. Also, I'd like to say, I don't get to say kudos, but I've been able to say them to the drive-thru when your crews come through on fixing Lakeview. I get lots of compliments all the time about that. So I've told your guys when they come through, but I'll tell you now, good job on that. And now they want to know when you're going to fix some other ones. You know, you fix one, 10 pop up, it's okay. But I've had lots of good feedback on that, so good job on that. That's it.
Thank Gary also for the food bank. And kids have also had a couple of people talk about the truck sign coming into town. That we need to have a bigger sign,
The which sign?
the truck route sign coming into town.
And we have no trucks prohibited signs. We don't have a truck route per se sign.
I don't know if we need to get a billboard with a flashing red light or whatever. Because I just, for curiosity the other day, I saw one coming down Lakeview and I couldn't resist it. I followed him out to the industrial park. And I asked him if he had an idea that he wasn't on a truck route. And he said, no, I didn't. He said, I've been here before. So, anyway, he now knows, but he said he didn't see a sign out there that said truck route. So,
And like I say, we have, the way our ordinance are set up, we have trucks prohibited signs. We don't have established truck route signs. So, I mean, he was correct and incorrect at the same time.
yeah. Could we get a truck route sign?
We would have to change our ordinances around to establish truck routes. I mean, communities do that, we could certainly do that, it's just the way the ordinances currently are set up.
So we have a truck route per se, but
We
it's
have
not a truck route.
We have truck prohibited, our ordinances are set up in the negative.
Let's try to turn them around to the positive. Okay. And we still got, when I made a comment to the MoDOT, was it Brian, on the corner of Love and Agricultural, and we've still got trees all over town that are like that, that cars can't go through, that hit limbs on the cars.
If you get us those, we'll look at those as well.
Okay. That's all I have.
I think we probably shot ourselves in the foot on Lakeview there by making that so nice. Now the trucks can get in there a lot easier. We were given the information the other day that the materials have been ordered for the Terrace Circle project. So, do you have anything, Kenzie, as far as timetable or?
We expect the materials to be in roughly 10 days from last Friday, and as soon as they come in, we'll proceed with that project.
The boys did a great job out there on Lakeview, and keeping the traffic going through it too, which was, I think, kind of tricky for them to get everybody out there, but they did a great job, and we appreciate it.
I'll pass it on to them.
Thank you.
Bruce?
I have nothing this evening.
Okay. Again, Gary, appreciate the work you guys do down at the Help Center.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to next year. Okay, we're now ready for public comments. Anyone have any public comments they'd like to make? I see the gentleman. Would you come up and I'm sure you want to follow up on what you asked about at our last meeting, or our last meeting, yes.
My name's Don Kofer. I live at 600 North Washington, just down the street from here. And I was just wondering if y'all had time to go over there and look at the problem we have with the water and the gravel running over the road and the ravines on the east side of the road. I was just hoping you all had time to go by there and have a look.
Honestly, I have not.
Well, it's supposed to rain tomorrow,
Okay.
and I'm pretty sure the water will be running over my sidewalk again. And almost every sidewalk from halfway up the block from the 600 block, it will be running over the sidewalk, and it's a mess.
Has anyone from the city have any comments on that, or have we had?
Kenzie's been working on it.
Okay.
I plan to have a memo to the council for the next meeting with some alternatives and some budget costs to consider, look at. It won't be in the form of a recommendation or proposal, but more of information to see what's feasible to do there.
Could you include some pictures in that? That's always
I've
nice.
got some.
Well, I was, so he can put up here on the screen so we can all
Got
see.
them on disc.
Yeah, okay. Very good.
Some of them are pretty deep. I mean, we have had concerns.
Sure.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Anything else?
Kids have been doing a good job controlling the rain this year.
Yeah.
The lake view does look good.
Thank you.
It does.
Any other comments from the public? Okay, yeah. I move we adjourn.
Second.
Nichols?
Yes.
Miller?
Yes.
Lush?
Yes.
Williams?
Yes.
Bott?
Yes.